Hello, current 8th graders. Once again, I want to welcome you to Cocke County High School. I talked to some of you this past Tuesday when you were visiting for 8th grade day, and we really, truly want to reiterate that high school can be the best 4 years of your life. This short video is simply to highlight a couple of significant changes in the 24-25 school year and to offer some information before you officially register with the CCHS counselors in March later this month and before you actually register. So again, my name is Nancy Brawley. I serve as the curriculum coordinator, and let me first introduce you the rest of the staff. Dr. Willis is our principal. Dr. Robert Vick serves as an assistant principal and our athletic director. Mr. Steve Hasselbush is our director of the CTE, which is the Career and Technical Education Department, and Ms. Holly Tungett is our other assistant principal. Additionally, I want you to look at the slide here that has our current teaching staff, which has over 70 certified staff members in a variety of disciplines. And so we're really super happy with what we have here at Cocke County High School and hope to make your 4 years wonderful. Now, let me start with a little bit of bad news, okay? This past school year, the state identified Cocke County High School as what they call an ATSI school, which simply means that we were a targeted school, which identified us as the lowest 5% in the state academically in English 2 and Algebra 1. I want to be specific about those subjects because it kind of affects what we're doing with scheduling next year. Not that the other subjects don't matter, because absolutely they do, but those tested areas, especially in English and math, are the ones that we struggle the most, and we want to address some changes. Currently at the high school, we're on a traditional block scheduling, which means you take 4 classes each semester. Your classes will actually end in December, and you'll have 4 new classes in the spring. In theory, each class is 90 days each semester, but that changes. Spring semester is actually a little bit shorter than the fall. And then when you start including events such as Veterans Day and pep rallies and club schedules and picture days, instructional time is really decreased to at best 70 days per semester, especially because the EOC testing window is not at the very end of the grading period. So we're trying to figure out ways to increase instructional time with the limited staff that we have. So what we're going to do with next year's incoming freshman class is with a very limited number of classes, okay? Right now we're only talking about with freshmen, Algebra 1 and English 1. English 1 honors and a class called AP that I'm going to explain in just a minute. And in sophomore, English 2 and geometry, and perhaps 2 APs their junior year. What we want to do is, I'm going to say we're going to pair those classes, and I just simply mean that they're going to alternate. You'll go to English class one day, you'll go to algebra class the next day. You'll go to English class the next day, algebra class the next day. So you'll rotate on an AB, we're going to call it red-black schedule, for the entire year so that all freshmen will test in the spring in Algebra 1 and in English 1 standard, okay? Those teachers are going to work very closely together so that they're giving work every other day. Again, the reasoning behind that is to increase instructional time so you don't have to worry about the testing window in December, and that it increases all that so that everybody tests in the spring. Now, let me talk about AP and DE just for a second. AP stands for Advanced Placement. We offer up here at the high school AP World History, AP U.S. Government, AP U.S. History, AP Calc, and at the moment, AP Environmental Science. Niswonger offers a class called AP Access for All, which is any AP course that you can do online. Those courses used to come with a fee to take a test. And now, because it's what we call an EPSO, which is an early post-secondary opportunity, the district is actually paying for those tests. So it's at no cost to you. If you pass the test with a 3, 4, or 5, you can get automatic college credit at schools nationwide, not just locally, which is kind of the big difference with DE. DE stands for dual enrollment. We offer tons of dual enrollment classes up here. The difference, though, is that dual enrollment is not really offered right now until you're a junior in high school. Now, some select sophomores can take those. It's my understanding that the state legislature is thinking about changing that and opening it up to sophomores that they can take DE classes, but that's not happened yet. And at the moment, you can take 5 DE. But in the meantime, their freshman year, we want kids to take as many EPSOs as possible. It helps what we call a ready graduate number. And so we want to offer AP. Again, It's not any cost to you, and we are so fortunate to have a 20-year veteran teacher that is teaching that course, and the kids that are in it this semester, they love it. It's not being overwhelmed. So I just want to kind of reiterate that. So again, you can't take that DE class as a freshman. So we're going to pair English 1 and honors and AP World History. They have the same placement, which is based on your TCAP score and your attendance. And so those kids, if you're going to take English 1 honors, you're automatically going to take AP. Again, no cost to you. You'll do them every other day. It extends throughout the year. The teachers are going to work together. You're not going to be overwhelmed. We want this to be a positive learning environment for everyone. Now, let me show you there's going to be a slide showing up that shows a current schedule. The first schedule, it shows what a sample schedule looks like, that you're going to have a red day and a black day. And so you'll have an English 1 on the red day, and you'll have a black day will be your algebra. Notice that your physical science, which is an example of a math class, your ROTC, your wellness, that class remains a semester class, like the majority of all other classes will remain a true block class. Only those classes will rotate. Then I also included a sample honors schedule, which again showed that English 1 honors being paired with AP World. And you might take Algebra 1 honors in the fall, and you might take geometry or biology honors in the spring. You might also be taking geometry honors in the second semester. POS just means your program of study class, like a culinary arts, intro to family studies, etc. And those other courses could be your fine arts, could be band, any of those others could be filled in. That's just an example. Let me also point out that it's not necessarily just first block. That could be any block of the day, first, second, third, or fourth. Right now, we're currently looking at having 3 sections of English 1 honors in the AP, so it could be first, second, third, or fourth. That's all remains to be determined. But again, that's kind of what your schedule will look like as a freshman. Some will be different. Some will have a traditional schedule all year. Some will have a class each block a semester. I think if I explained that right. And some will alternate days. Let me also again say one of the other reasons why I want to do this. It is a huge adjustment for a lot of our students to come to high school. Some of our elementary schools have less than 100 students, and so they come to high school that have our current enrollment is something like 1162. So it just gives you more time to adapt and learn how high school works. Unfortunately, we're not able to have like a freshman day anymore, but we do have a freshman night. Freshman night will be Tuesday, July the 30th. I bring that date up to you because that is the night that you will receive your schedules, not up until then. So please don't think that once you've committed to something on February the 28th, that's what your schedule is going to be on July the 30th. There will be constant interaction between you, your parents, and the counselors to make sure we have what's best for your student. But just all that information is in the packet. Your counselor is based on your last name, okay? They are obviously Miss Bailey Hansel, Miss Ashley Ball, and Miss Vera Pratt. Let me talk about grade cards for just a second. You will get your final grade cards in December. You'll get 1 grade card in the middle of the 9 weeks. Usually that's around October, so there's only 1 grade card and 1 final grade card, so that you'll know. Your EOC test count 15% of your final grade. That's very important because in the elementary school, yes, your TCAPs count, but let's all face it, they really don't count. And as far as your grades go, or whether or not you pass, but they do at the high school level. So that's just important to remember. When you take an AP course or a DE course, they're what we call weighted courses. That course counts as a 5.0 in a weighted GPA scale, meaning that if you make a B, that's still going to count as a 4.0 in a weighted scale. If you make an A, it counts as a 5. So if that's important to you, then just keep that in mind. Honors classes are based on a 0.75, or STC classes are 0.75, and honors classes are 0.5, so they're all weighted. One other thing about AP classes that I want to also bring up at this point. Your junior year, your student will be taking their first ACT test unless they pay for it and take it on their own their sophomore year or their freshman year. Statistics will tell you time and time again, students that are enrolled in AP because of the reading do far better on their ACT than those students that don't. Okay, so again, it's just a free opportunity. You're going to get a world history credit anyway, and who knows, you might get college credit and you're going to be better prepared for that ACT when you're a junior. A couple of other little things about scheduling. I get a lot of questions from the sports world. If your student is on a sports team at the high school, yes, they can be in physical conditioning, but the coaches actually provide those names, and the counselors will adjust their schedule. So don't worry about signing up for physical conditioning. They'll take care of that from that PE perspective. Okay, one final thing that I want to talk about is that for 3 years now, the state of Tennessee has provided money for learning loss with COVID. And that for the high school, we offer a freshman orientation. So in the years past, we do freshmen 1 week at a time, and they come up here every day. It's free. We provide some type of transportation. They kind of get a feel for the school, get a feel for the classes. Robin Moore, an English teacher, has led that in the past. I think she's doing that as well. I simply bring that to your attention to let you know that there will be more information to come. So that's one final thing, that there will be some freshman orientation. Like I said, I think you sign up for a week at a time, but that'll be the last time that's offered this summer. So finally, in conclusion, I want you to stay in contact with your counselor. We've given a subtitle with their address. Please contact me as well. I'll be glad to explain as much as I possibly can. And we, again, look super forward to you joining Cocke County High School next year. Thank you.